Hello everybody. In this video we are going to solve this problem from Fundamentals of Electric Circuits by Alexander and Sedicus 5th edition. This is an example problem 3.3 and we are asked to find the node voltages. So whenever you come across this term node voltage, then we should know we must apply KCL to solve this particular circuit. What is KCL? KCL is Kirchhoff's current law. It states that summation of the incoming current is equal to summation of leaving current in a particular node. So we should mark the nodes. So this is one node, but this is called the reference node or the ground node. Other than this reference node, we have two more nodes. So we have the node number 1 and 2. They are called non-reference nodes. Let me mark them as N or N. Okay. So here you have one N or N with the potential V1, and here you have another non-reference node with the potential V2. The next step is carefully inspect this circuit and try to understand what are all present here. So we have two number of current sources. Isn't it this 2 amps and the 7 amps? And we have one number of voltage source. Here it is present. Then we have three number of resistors. So this is one resistor, this is another resistor, and this 10 ohm resistance. And also you can observe that this 10 ohm resistance is in parallel with this 2 volts voltage source. This is of much important. As we have a 2 volt voltage source in this circuit, we cannot rely only on KCL for finding this node voltages. KVL should also be applied. Then only you can solve this. You can solve this particular circuit. Why? Because if you want to find out the nodal voltages, there we apply KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. So on that case, these nodes are playing an important role, and also we must mark the current which are all flowing through the particular paths. So through this path 2 ampere current is already given. Through this path 7 amps current is given. But other than this, we have this path and this path available. Three paths are available where the flowing current is not mentioned. So we need to actually mark the current. We can choose it like this, I1, or you can also go for the direction like this. Okay, I1. So while you are marking the current, you can choose any arbitrary direction. What is the meaning of it? Or you can mark the I1 coordinate either in the downward direction or in the upward direction. So you can choose any one of it. Both will give you the same answer, same solution. Okay. I usually prefer to have this current flowing downward. So I mark it as I1. Here also I can mark another current. I name it as I2. Here also I assume the current direction downwards only. You can either place it downward or you can also place it upward. Both are correct only. Okay. And then this is the third path. Through the third path also you have to assume the current direction. So through this either you can put it like this I3 current, that means it is flowing from left to right, or you can place it like this, either it can flow from left to right or you can choose it like this, right to left. Both directions are correct, so you can choose any one of the direction. Okay, so whenever I say that it is flowing from left to right, I prefer to have it as left to right direction. So if it is taken in this direction, then it will be flowing from this potential V1 through this 10 ohm resistance, then it enters into this second node. Okay, so it starts from this V1 potential and then it ends at the V2 potential. The potential difference will be V1 minus V2. That would be the potential difference through which this current I3 will be flowing and the resistance is 10 ohm. Like this we have to put it. Okay, so one more path is available. That is the path between this V1 potential and V2 potential. In between V1, V2, we have this 2-volt voltage source available, and this is minus and plus. So you can mark the current direction either like this. This could be your I4, or you can take the current direction like this as I4. So if you mark any current direction, arbitrary current direction, and if you name it as I4, can you solve this? Solving means what? We want to find the nodal voltages. That means finding this V1 and V2. For that, initially we must know the values of this I1, I2 and I3 as well as this I4. These three currents can be found out easily because this involves this voltages and the resistances as per Ohm's law. Here also you can write it something like this: V2 divided by this 4 ohm resistance. This is V1 divided by this 2 ohm resistance. I3, I3 can also, you can also mark it V1 minus V2 divided by 10 ohm resistance. Something like that you can write. But what about this I4? Can you write any equation like this in order to find out this voltages, nodal voltage? Because if you are writing or if you are marking 4 number of unknowns, then definitely you need 4 number of equations. If you have 4 number of simultaneous equations, then only you can find out this 4 number of unknowns. So in this case, you must be in a position to write I4 in terms of voltages. But actually we have only V1 and V2, right? Only 2 unknowns. So in order to find out 2 unknowns, it is better to have only 2 equations. That is another thing. This is the simple method of finding the solution. Okay, but anyhow, we start with KCL. So there we encounter with this I4. So if you want to write I4 in terms of nodal voltages, there you can write it as V1 minus V2 divided by some unknown resistance. But this resistance value is not available. So this methodology is not suitable. So I4 is to be ignored. So to solve this, we must go for another method. So what is that another method? We have to apply this Kirchhoff's voltage law, right? And we mark this as a supernode. So we form the supernode here. Understood? So this kind of problem is somewhat different from ordinary nodal analysis. So whenever you come across this kind of voltage sources that is placed in between two non-reference nodes, then we form supernode, and this analysis become supernode analysis. So how to form the supernode? Here we have two non-reference nodes 1 and 2, N or N, non-reference nodes, and in between this non-reference node you have one voltage source, that is 2 volts, and the potentials are V1 and V2 respectively at the nodes 1 and 2. If you combine or enclose these three things in the sense first node, second node and the 2 volts voltage source, then we name this as a supernode. So now this is a supernode. So supernode is formed by combining two nodes along with the voltage source. So once you form the supernode like this, then you can realize that this 10 ohm resistance is in parallel with this supernode. On this case, you have to combine these two together or enclose these two together and now name it as supernode. Okay, So we need to do the modification here, combining these things together, and now you name it as a supernode. So first what did we do? We combine only this V1, V2 and the 2 volts voltage source together and make it as a supernode. This is the first thing we did. The second thing is, for this supernode along with the resistor made as a single entity, and we name this now as a supernode. So we have two types of formation. This doesn't include this 10 ohm resistance. 10 ohm resistance is not included in the supernode. And in the second formation, actually we have included this 10 ohm resistance. That gives you the supernode. I am going to analyze this circuit using the first method and then using the second method, and we'll check whether we get the same answer. We'll verify. Okay. The first, according to the first method, I consider this as the supernode. So this circuit can be redrawn like this. This with the potential V1, V2, and this will be hidden, this 2 volt voltage source. But now we are including this 10 ohm resistance. So this is one non-reference node. This is another non-reference node. So we should apply KCL. We must mark the currents in each and every branch. So in this branch the current is available, and in this branch no current is marked. So let me take it as I1 current downwards. Here also no current is given, so let me take this as I2 current. Then on this branch the 7 amps current is available, and through this 10 ohm resistance we mark the current like this. Let me name this as I3 current. Okay, so now for this supernode we apply the KCL. So here, what are all the incoming currents to this supernode? Supernode means it is including this thing only, right? After considering the nodes 1 and 2 as a single node, right, or a supernode. So what currents are actually here entering? This 2 ampere current is entering current, and this I3 current is also entering. I3 current is entering into this second node. To the second node, this is entering. Okay, that is equal to, what are the leaving currents? This I1 current is the leaving current, plus I2 current is the leaving current, plus the 7 amps is the leaving current. And then one more thing, this I3 current is leaving from this first node, right? This is leaving from this first node. So I3 current is also to be included. We must know that it is leaving the first node. So we can rewrite this as I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus 7, that is equal to 2 plus I3. So this can be written as I1 plus I2 plus I3, this I3. Okay, right to left. So it is minus I3, that is equal to 2. When you bring it to this side, the 7 becomes minus 7. So these two get cancelled. So what is this? It becomes I1 plus I2 is equal to minus 5. This is equation number 1. By applying KCL, we got the correct equation in the supernodal analysis. But actually we need to have this node voltages only and not the currents. So in order to convert this current equation into nodal voltage, we must apply Ohm's law. So here, what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law is equal to I equal to V by R. We can write this I1 as the potential V1 minus 0 divided by, that is the reference potential. 0 is the reference potential divided by that 2 ohm resistance, plus I2 can be written as V2 minus 0 divided by that 4 ohm resistance, that is equal to minus 5. So multiplying this equation by 4, we get this as 2v1 plus v2, that is equal to minus 20. Let's have this as equation number 2. So after this, we have to write the KVL for this supernova, Kirchhoff's voltage law. What is Kirchhoff's voltage law? It states that summation of voltages in a closed path is equal to 0, right? So we can write the KVL as V1 minus V2, that is equal to minus 2 volts. Okay. So let me take this here. V1 minus V2, that is equal to minus 2. This is your third equation. Now when you solve these two equations by adding both, okay, that means the second equation and the third equation being added, get this cancel, and this is 3v1, that is equal to minus 22. That means v1 is equal to minus 22 divided by 3. So that is equal to minus 7.33 volts. So we got one answer now, right? So v1 minus v2, that is equal to minus 2. This is your third equation. Into this third equation, you can substitute the v1 value as minus 7.33. So this is minus 7.33 volts in V1 minus this V2, that is equal to minus 2. So V2 is equal to minus 7.33 plus 2. So V2 is equal to minus 5.33 volts. So this is your second answer. So what are the answers? V1 is equal to minus 7.33 volts and V2 is equal to minus 5.33 volts. So these are all the node voltages. So this is using the first method, what I have told you, right? So in the second method, what I have told you is we have to form the supernode by combining this 10 ohm parallel resistance also. By combining this, we form the supernode. After that only we go for this analysis, right? So in this method, I am going to draw the abstract of the circuit. So I can redraw the circuit like this. Here you will be having this V1 and then this V2, and this path is dotted. That means here also it is dotted. That means we are ignoring the presence of this 2 volts voltage source and the 10 ohm resistance, right? After that we can mark the current sources. This 2 amps current source, 2 ohm resistance, this 4 ohm resistance, and then another current source. This is downward direction 7 amps. They all meet at the common point or the reference. So these two are the non-reference nodes V1 and V2. So to this V1 and V2 you can apply KCL. So we start our analysis. We are going to write the current equation. So for that we have to mark the currents. I mark this as I1 current, this is I2 current. So only 4 paths are available, right? 2 amps current, I1 current, I2 current, and then 7 amps current. These paths are not actually available. So now we write the KCL, that is the current equation for this modified circuit for the supernodal analysis. So 2 ampere current is the incoming current to the supernode, and this I1, I2 and the 7 amps, they make the summation of the leaving current to the supernode. So I can write this as I1 plus I2, that is equal to minus 5. This is our first equation for the second method, right? In which the 10 ohm resistance is not considered because it doesn't make any sense. Okay, after writing this current equation, we have to apply Ohm's law, right? Why do you apply Ohm's law? Because we want to convert this current equation into voltage equation. so that this current I1 can be written as the potential difference V1 minus this 0, because this is your reference voltage 0 and this I1 current is flowing in this path. That is, it is flowing from this V1 potential to 0 potential divided by the resistance plus this I2 current, that is the current which is flowing from this V2 potential to the 0 potential through this 4 ohm resistance, isn't it? So it is V2 minus 0 potential divided by 4 ohms, that is equal to minus 5. So I can rewrite this as V1 by 2 minus V2 by 4, that is equal to minus 5. So when you multiply this by 4, you get this as 2V1 plus V2, that is equal to minus 20. So this is your second equation. Now moving on to the next portion, that means as we have the super node, we need to apply KVL also, get another equation. Okay, Kirchhoff's voltage law. So it states that summation of the voltages in a closed path is equal to 0. In our case, we have this V1 potential as well as this V2 potential. So we have this node 1 and node 2 with the potentials V1 and V2, and in between these two nodes the 2 volt voltage source is available, minus plus. So this actually makes the supernode, right? To the supernode, if you apply KVL, it can be written as V1 minus V2, that is equal to minus 2 volt. So this is your third equation. So adding these two equations, second equation and the third equation, you will get it as 3V1, that is equal to minus 22. So V1 is equal to minus 22 by 3, that is equal to minus 7.33 volts. So this is the first answer we get, minus 7.33 volts. This is one answer we get. Then you refer this third equation. So that is V1 minus V2 is equal to minus 2. In this you can substitute this value of V1 as minus 7.33 minus V2, that is equal to minus 2. So V2 is equal to minus 7.33 plus 2, right? So it is equal to minus 5.33 volts. This is your V2. So you got the second answer also. These two make answers. So to summarize the answers, V1 is equal to minus 7.33 volts and V2 is equal to minus 5.33 volts. So this is your final answer. Okay, thank you. Hope this video is useful to you.